Hmm.
Has it started?
Wait, yeah, now you can start.
Good day, everyone. My name is Christian Onwuka, and on behalf of my team, I'd like to welcome you to our presentation titled Encouraging Smarter Consumers' Choice Through Advertising Awareness. In today's digital world, advertising surrounds us constantly on social media, websites, and mobile apps. Our aim is to explore how emotionally persuasive advertising influences financial decisions, especially among valuable customers. I'll be starting with introduction, background, context. After that, my colleagues will each take on key sections of the research. Rita will cover the financial literacy gap and how it makes customers more valuable to manipulative advertising. Pranav will discuss advertising techniques and customer psychology as well as stakeholder analysis. Ritwa will present our findings on training needs, existing intervention, and policy recommendation. Let's begin by examining how advertising has evolved and how it emotionally influences customers' behavior. Next slide, introduction. Modern advertising relies heavily on emotional appeal, not just production value, through techniques like storytelling, scarcity, and social proofs. Ads are designed to trigger impulse rather than encourage thoughtful evaluation. According to Quintero 2024, advertisers now use customers' data to explore psychological triggers, often pushing people towards unplanned spending. This manipulation contributes to poor financial choices and rising debt values. This presentation aims to demonstrate how advertising awareness combined with financial literacy can foster more critical thinking and responsible customer behavior. Next slide, background context. Digital platforms have transformed advertising, making it highly targeted and data-driven. Today's algorithm shapes the ad we see, tailored to our online behaviors, interests, and preferences. According to KEMS 2025, digital ad made up of 22.7% of global ad spend in 2024, reflecting their dominance and precision. However, this precision comes with risk, particularly for younger or less financially literate audiences. Tactics such as limited time offers, emotionally charged visuals are designed to trigger urgency and reduce thoughtful decision making, leading to impulse spending. Without awareness of these strategies, customers are more likely to overspend, fall for misleading promotions, and experience financial stress. This highlights the urgent need for advertising literacy to help individuals make informed, responsible financial choices. Next slide, research aim and objective. To examine how modern advertising influences customer decisions and assess how financial literacy can counter its negative effects. Objectives: identify key advertising strategies that shape buyers' behavior, explore how financial knowledge empowers customers to resist manipulation, recommend ways to encourage customer protection via education and regulation. Thank you. I will now pass it on to my colleague, Rita.
Thank you, Emeka. We're going to talk about financial literacy gap. Financial literacy means knowing how to manage money wisely, avoid financial risks, and make smart spending choices. When people lack this knowledge, they are more likely to respond emotionally to ads and struggle to access offers logically. According to Fulena and Chito 2023, 60% of people with low financial literacy are more likely to fall for scam, are more likely to overspend or making planning mistakes. Their study also shows that poor financial skills lead to bad product choices. These consumers often miss hidden costs, fail to compare prices, or fail to tempting buy now, pay later deals that seem helpful but can be very risky. On the other hand, people with strong financial literacy tend to pause, they question the ads, messages, and think about long-term outcomes. Those with weaker skills can be more easily influenced by persuasive marketing, often ending up in debt. This is why early financial education and awareness programs are so important. By understanding where their knowledge gaps are, people can avoid costly mistakes, stay clear of emotional purchases, and make better decisions in today's fast-moving digital market. Next slide, please. Advertising techniques and consumer psychology. Targeted advertising often takes advantage of specific moments or feelings to trigger impulse buying. A review of 67 studies by Nanda et al. 2023 found that time pressure and exposure to social media are major drivers of compulsive shopping. Online ads often recreate these triggers using countdown deals, flashy banners, and celebrity endorsements to create urgency or social pressure. These tactics push people to buy quickly without comparing prices or even considering if they really need the product. As a result, many purchases are made emotionally, not logically, especially when financial literacy is low. When consumers understand these advertising tricks, they are more likely to stop and think before buying. This awareness helps them make smarter choices that match their needs and financial goals in today's digital marketing. With Leto 2024. Next slide, please. Stakeholder analysis. Several key players affect how advertising messages are created, delivered, and understood. Ads that use emotional appeal often target younger people or those with lower income groups that may be more impulsive in their buying. Kumar and Siddiq 2023 points out that low-income consumers in emerging markets are especially likely to trust price-based promotion without checking the actual value of the product. This shows a real need for stronger financial education and media awareness. Governments and policymakers are responsible for creating laws to stop misleading ads and protect vulnerable groups. At the same time, advertisers and tech companies must act responsibly and not take advantage of emotional weaknesses. NGOs and schools also play a big role in building financial and media literacy. These efforts help people make better decisions. For real impact, all these stakeholders must work together to give consumers the tools and confidence to make informed choices in a complex digital world. Next slide, theoretical framework. Strong theories help us understand how people can make better buying choices with the help of advertising awareness. Stakeholder theory says all groups like consumers, advertisers, educators, and policymakers must be considered to create a fair and responsible advertising environment. When these groups work together, it builds trust and supports ethical decisions. Guterman 2023. The financial literacy framework highlights three key things: knowledge, skills, and attitudes. These are essential for people to understand, manage, financial information. Lusadi and Messi 2023. Experiential learning and capability theory adds that learning by doing, such as through workshops, games, or digital simulation, is one of the best ways to build real-life financial skills. Dano 2024. So by combining these frameworks, we can design advertising awareness program that involve all stakeholders, improve financial skills, and focus on real-world learning. This well-rounded approach gives consumers the tools they need to make smart and confident decisions in today's digital advertising landscape. Thank you very much. I'll pass this on to my colleague, Pranav.
Thank you, Rita. And case study insights. Let's begin with how young people make financial choices. In a 2024 survey, 55% of Gen Z and Gen Zs and millennials saved regularly, but only 52% invested in shares and just 26 in ETFs. This shows many are cautious and avoid exploring investment options. Even though Gen Z is good with technology, many still lacks financial and digital skills. This gap makes it easier for online ads to influence them emotionally. That's why we need to build both financial literacy and advertising awareness so people can think critically and avoid falling for misleading ads. Moving to next slide. Exiting interventions. Now let's talk about what already being done. There are many programs that teach savings and budgeting, but they don't focus enough on how it affects our decisions. Research shows these programs help in the short term but don't lead to long-term changes, mostly because they use boring passive methods like lecture or videos. To be more effective, we need interactive tools like workshops and ad simulations. This make learning more real and fun and memorable. Moving to next slide. Training and educational needs. People learn better when they get hands-on experience. Research shows that simulation helps people remember up to 35% more. These activities lets people practice spotting and resisting tricky ads in real life situation. This type of learning should happen in school and communities. Adults can benefit too, especially with peer led sections where leading from other increases motivation and memory by over 67%. By creating safe spaces for decision and practice, we help everyone become smarter consumers. Moving to next slide. Policy and funding solutions. Finally, real changes need support from policy and fundings. One big step is making media literacy a required subject in school. As global literacy improves, students are ready to learn how to question ads and make better choices. Outside school, partnership between government and companies are also key. Since 60% of sales now comes from influencers, we need to educate consumer and promote ethical advertising. By offering rewards to honest advertiser and funding awareness, campaigns can create more responsible ad cultures. I'm passing to Mirza. You're mute.
Thank you, Pranav. My name is Mirza Obed, and my topic is SWOT and Pestle Overview. So, the SWOT and Pestle analysis reveal the most important elements influencing the advertisement awareness towards like smarter consumer choice. Among the strengths and increased consumer awareness and adoption of digital platforms such as like disseminating tool of useful information. However, the weak aspect will still exist, including regional digital divides and the absence of tools that are suitable according to the consumer demands. The development of advertising presents opportunities that can facilitate educational campaigns and encourage people to think critically as consumers. Innovation of the policy also offers the possibility of reinforcing the effectiveness of the regulations of advertising and ensuring the safeguarding of consumer interest. These aspects emphasize the necessity of the balanced solution incorporating technology, education, and regulation. And adequate strategy will help consumers to be acknowledged and make wise decisions without fear. Thus, the opportunities and risks should be addressed to create long-term consumer awareness and empowerment. Could we move to the next slide? Short term recommendations. In short term recommendations, mobile apps may be developed that will be enable consumer awareness training in regional languages. Such applications will help individuals learn to recognize deceptive advertising and purchase more wisely. The approach of using local languages will aid in achieving the goal of users all of content comprehending and working out issues in life. Moreover, social media influencers make conduct specific campaigns to encourage consumers to think critically. Such campaigns will make the people learn to doubt the advertising cons before making a rash or emotionally choice to buy things. Influencers possesses an emphasis following online and can build awareness with a small amount of time. So, with the above of short-term measures, the consumers, particularly the youths, can practice better judgment and not buy on impulse in manipulative ads. Next slide, please. Long-term recommendations. To achieve a long-term effect, there should be a national plan that will be developed to bring awareness of advertising throughout the nation. The plan must include schools, communities as well as places of work, such that reach of education is far-reaching and enduring. Government may additionally create officially educational dashboards and monitoring their accuracy and frequently update them with reliable information. However, consumers seeking education on advertising tactics and consumer rights will find their dependable sources of information through these dashboards. Similarly, local inter and alliances should design special programs for the rural and undeserved regions. Such comprehensive model will help guarantee that all citizens as well as individuals of all backgrounds have access to advertising, awareness and education. Lastly, lifelong learning programs focused on advertising awareness need to be offered throughout universities and vocational institutes. Next slide, please. Conclusion. In conclusion, influencing consumers to make smarter decisions based on the awareness of advertising requires both short-term activities and long-term educational plans. Strategies like mobile apps and influencers campaigns can be quickly used to create awareness about the product among various demographic groups. However, sustainable change is achieved throughout government driven interventions and lifelong learning initiatives and critical thinking skills. Government educators and influencers can collaborate to ensure individuals make informed and rather conscious decisions. Therefore, such a combined effort will support the right of the consumers and minimize the negative impact of deceptive advertising within the society. Next slide, please. So, in the end, references, thank you so much for your attention and valuable time throughout this presentation. We welcome your questions and feedback. Like, thank you once again for being such an engaging audience. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.